Action titles come in all shapes and sizes, and on mobile, they're all on the go and ready for you to play at any point in time. Today I want to share with you 7 mobile games that are action-packed, all from different genres. Some of these games are brand new, while others have been around for years and you probably haven't tried them yet. I can go ahead and recommend every single one of these because for one reason or the other, they're extremely fun to play and are going to keep you coming back onto your phone to sneak some more. Starting out the list today, we have Maximus 2 Fantasy Beat 'em Up. This title has 1 million downloads, 4.7 stars, and really is addicting and a ton of fun to play. You can tell by the artwork style that it is pretty simplistic, but that doesn't take away from the gameplay experience that you'll have when you have it in hand. This is an award-winning fantasy beat-em-up brawler that focuses on crunchy and satisfying combat. The developers have captured the spirit of some of the best classic beat-em-up style games, churning them together into an experience that you're going to keep coming back for more. You could fight solo or up to 4 players inside of cooperative multiplayer. As you can see, you have really cool different combat mechanics that you can do inside of the game, and while they're really encompassing the goofiness that you can have with the artwork style, the combat is fun, the game is addicting, and the PvP element of it is actually quite fun as well. Next on the list is a game that could really take up a ton of your time, one that's very new to the scene, one of the newest on today's list, and it's a very action-packed game. Solo Leveling Arise has 10 million downloads and 4.4 stars. Inside of this game, the first thing that you're going to notice is the combat. It's fast, it's intense, and it really is going to keep the action moving throughout the entire gameplay session that you have. You also have incredible bosses that you're going to face in big boss battles and regular enemies that are just really cool to fight against. The next thing that I noticed and really like about this game are the graphics. Obviously, it's an anime-inspired and anime-themed game, but it also does resemble in some ways Borderlands, which is a game that I'm an absolute fan of, something that I have loved for a very long time. Really here though, if you're looking for an action RPG style game that's really new to the scene, probably the newest one out there right now, this is going to be your best choice. With this being said, you need to be into the more cartoony look that it offers as well as anime. If you don't like that stuff, this may not be one you're interested in. Just so you know, the game has 10 million downloads and 4.4 stars on Google. Next on the list, we have Smash Legends Action Fight, and this one sits with 4.5 stars and 5 million downloads on the Google Play Store. This is a MOBA style game, but plays very differently from any other MOBAs, which is why I wanted to have it stand out on today's list. It doesn't have your typical 3-lane combat that you know from a MOBA or your jungling that you're going to do in the center. Instead, you have different characters that you play as and you battle your way against your opponents through the map in a mechanic that is a lot less like a MOBA that's standard to the genre and more of a lighter, more casual experience. With this said, the combat inside of the game is far from casual, and it can actually get very competitive at times. I really do like the gameplay focus inside of this one on teamwork. Play together and you're going to see a lot more success throughout the game. In addition to that, you have a lot of players typically playing closer together inside of this one versus all over the map as you would see in a typical MOBA. Smash Legends is a very fun game. It's easy to pick up and enjoy, a little bit harder to master, and one that I think you'd probably enjoy playing because I have. And now we have T3 Arena with 5 million downloads and 4.3 stars. This is a game I've played a lot of in the past. I've actually featured it quite a bit on the channel as well. And the way that I like to call this is it's a lot like an Overwatch style game, but on mobile. Inside of this one, you're going to play as a multitude of different characters, all with different skills and abilities, which pair well together. Your teams are going to be very diverse with different characters, all with different purposes, and if you choose wisely, you'll be able to have a nice combat session with players that really work well together. Not only players with skill, but also players meaning the characters that you choose inside of the game and the different abilities that they do have. This is an arena style shooter, and probably, in my opinion, the best arena style shooter in the space. It has 5 million downloads and 4.3 stars. And the graphics, although very cartoony in this game, they're bright and actually they're quite beautiful. The gameplay sessions are pretty quick. They're not like you're going to be playing a long battle royale match and playing for 20 to 30 minutes. They're a lot quicker and easier to pick up on the mobile. There's a lot of elements of the game that are really nice as well, such as spectate mode, so I can see this getting pretty big in the esports scene as well over time. Unfortunately though, this is an underplayed game. This is one that the community has not shown as much love to that I expect it should get. It's an amazing arena shooter, the best in the space, and one that I would love to see more people jumping into because it really is just done well. Next up, we have Overdo, which is a top-down style action role-playing game with 1 million downloads and with 4.4 stars. This is a pretty simplistic game. The sounds that you have inside of the game aren't anything drastic. The gameplay itself is pretty straightforward, but the combat is actually just straight up fun. It's a PvP style multiplayer experience that really just tests you on your skill. I also love any game that's going to motivate you and just praise you for having multiple kills. Double kill, multi-kill. Brings me back to the days of Halo when I really did love that stuff. It would pump me up for the game. This game is pretty simple to learn, and again, because it's a PvP experience, it's something that could be difficult to really thrive in until you get some practice and really are able to hone in on your skills, choose the characters that you play the best, and be able to really learn how to play the objectives while going against other people in a PvP combat arena. Definitely a game that I would bet you haven't played, but probably a game that I think you would enjoy and is worth you trying. It's a role-playing action RPG. How could you not give it at least a little shot? And next I want to introduce you to Wuthering Waves, another game that is very new to the scene and really action-packed. I mean, this one definitely fits the title of this video. With 1 million downloads and surprisingly only 3.8 stars, this is one of the better action role-playing games in the anime genre that's out right now. It's a story-rich open-world title that's an RPG that has a lot of freedom. I love that this open world element has been brought to many different titles over the last couple of years. It allows for so much more exploration inside of the game, interactions with other players that you may not have had otherwise, and just a much longer and in-depth gameplay experience for you. A game like Wuthering Waves is one that you could play for an extremely long time. Reminds me actually of the gameplay depth that you get inside of a game like Diablo Immortal, which is a game that I actually cover on my second channel called Echo Gaming Diablo. If you've never checked it out, go have a look because I play Diablo Immortal over there every single day. But Wuthering Waves, or Diablo Immortal at that, both fit the bill for this video. And last is a title that I have been playing for years called Shadowgun Legends. This one has 10 million downloads and 4.3 stars, and it's another shooter style game with amazing campaign missions that you could play through that reset every day, allowing you to get new drops of gear and all have different objectives, and also has a PvE and a PvP element to the game as well. I have always found this game to be extremely exciting and entertaining, and something that I would find myself coming back to every year or so. This is actually one of my favorite shooters on mobile of all time, and it really does a good job incentivizing players to want to come back to play some more. Not to mention that you have a really cool open world HUD, a nice home base where you could work with other players, interact with others, and even go to different shops so that you could gear yourself up in a way that really makes you feel like you're a solid player and that you can invest in your build. The game is incredible, underrated, and needs to be played now. And of course, I mentioned Diablo Immortal a little bit earlier in the video, but this is one of my favorite mobile games of all time. I think it's done extremely well. I particularly enjoy playing on the mobile device, but you can play on PC as well. And to be honest with you, they just dropped a new class inside of the game last week called the Tempest. What you're looking at here is some gameplay from the Necromancer. But it's really an amazing title that has so much depth to it, PvE and PvP, and it's another game that you could enjoy absolutely for free, or you could spend a butt ton inside of the game and really go beyond what you want to spend. The game's incredible though. I suggest you try it and check out my second channel, Echo Gaming Diablo. And remember guys, if you like top 10 lists, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on me tomorrow.